What is up, guys? Welcome back. So this is another one of these discussion videos I want to make. This is gonna be just for fun. Just keep in mind this is just for fun. Don't freak out. Don't freak out about what I say in this video. But this is just a list of my favorite / most wanted NAT 4 monsters in the game. I limited this to the natural 3 elements, so fire, water, and the wood. Some people call it grass, wood, tree. I think that game calls it tree. Majority of the people call it wood. Some people call it grass. But fire, water, and wood. And I'm going to just give my opinions on some of them. Some of these monsters I already have. Others are monsters that I want to have. And I thought it might be a pretty good idea just to include monsters that I already have, because it would be pretty bad to not mention them just because I have them. I happen to have them. So without further ado, let's get on with the list. So first up, this is a monster I use quite a lot, the fire succubus. If you look at the background, I'm actually using, wait, no, not on this map. I'm not using her on this map right now. But I use her quite a lot for nuking. I use her for my arena. I use her for doing, like, you know, kind of speed run type stuff, because she is a very strong nuker. She has pretty good attack base attack stats if you can get her pretty high. And she has defense break, which is really nice. This is really important on most nukers to have defense break. So she has an AoE defense break that has a 60% chance defense break for 2 turns. And on her first skill, she heals when she crits. So this is very nice. A lot of people compare her to the fire yuki or the fire canneling. If you happen to have a variant version of her, she also has a HP percent skill. So that's really nice to help your team, you know, get a little bit more tanky. Second on the list is the fire yuki. This is a monster I use a lot as well. I really like her. She is a little bit more, I would say, attack based than the succubus, because of how she doesn't have any sustain. She has defense break, 60% chance for 2 turns on her first skill, and a defense break as well for her second skill, which is an AoE, also 60% chance for 2 turns. I have a variant version of her as well. The variant version comes with death blow, critical hit damage increased by 40%. This is gonna be pretty strong. I'd imagine it be pretty strong late game, but I don't have the runes to actually, you know, boost my crit rate up to make my crit team that strong. But I think in the future, I'm definitely going to be using her leader as a leader quite a lot. I didn't weigh the variant skills for these monsters very heavily, because majority of the people that use, like, you know, 4-star monsters, they don't have variant versions of them. It's probably a lot more rare to actually have a variant version, but I still think even without the variant leader, she's still very good, because she's able to just provide a lot of armor break, and her stats are very, you know, like her attack stat, which is pretty much the only stat that kind of matters on her, is also very high. Next up is the Fire Cura. I think this is a monster I would definitely raise if I got, if I didn't have the Dark Cura. I think she, in my opinion, she is a slightly weaker version of the Dark Cura, but still very useful, very strong. A lot of people use her for Golem's B9, I've heard, and she has morale boost. This is similar to the Dark Cura's first skill, but the only difference is she needs to crit in order to have this activate, instead of the Dark Cura, who has it happen pretty much every single turn, even without critting. And her second skill is a shield, so she grants this shield. From what I've heard, the shield is it's decent. It's not like the best thing ever. It's not gonna completely block out the boss's damage, but it's gonna soak up a little bit of the boss's damage, which will help your team survive a bit. And she's mainly, a lot of people mainly use her because she's one of the best natural 4-star fire healers. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why she's so good. She also has a Crimson Spirit's Blessing, increases red soul recovery. I think this is okay. It's not that good. It's not that useful. but you don't really need to use her for her variant skill. You basically just use her to provide heals and morale boost to help your team get more turns, or not more turns, more SP to get more second skills. Next is the Wood Hana. This is a monster I use as well. I think she is very, very nice. In my opinion, she is the best wood healer in the game. She has attack down on first skill. Although this only lasts one turn, I don't think I use her because of the attack down. I mainly use her because of the second skill, and the second skill is really, really good. It's a defense buff for 3 turns, which is really nice. Like a 3-turn defense buff. If your other units are able to nuke very hard, as soon as you have this up, you can pretty much for the duration of the fight permanently keep it on your team. And basically this increases, I think the actual numbers is to increase defense by like 50%, which is actually quite a lot. It helps your team tank a lot more damage. She also has a variant skill that increases allies recovery. I would really, really like to have her as a variant. That would be very, very helpful if I can get the variant leader skill to increase healing even more. But I don't think that's necessarily needed if you have her with her recovery, decently high. Usually I have like 1 slot recovery on her, and she's able to basically heal my team from like 0 to 100 in just 1 heal. The next is a monster that I really, really want. One of the strongest, definitely one of the strongest, if not the strongest Nat 4 monster in the game, in my opinion. I think I'm a little bit biased, alright? I'm a little bit biased towards morale boost. I think morale boost is really, really powerful. Like, in my opinion, morale boost is one of the best first skills you can have on any unit. Morale boost gives you more SP for your unit, and if you're a monster that has a second skill, which is a nuke, like an AoE nuke, and you have an SP filling first skill, you can actually use that monster as a SP bar filler, because if you're able to fill up your SP bar and do your AoE nuke, you're able to fill up the SP of your allies once you hit them, and then the blue souls pop out and you're able to get that next turn. So you can kind of it serves like as a pseudo SP bar filler for your team. And she has defense break, 60% chance for 2 turns on her second skill. So similarly to the fire yuki and the fire succubus, she's like the wood version of the armor breaker. And if you can happen to get her as a variant, that's really, really nice, because she has a defense leader skill from 30 to 35%, which is pretty much like super useful for almost anything. Defense is one of the stronger stats, I think, in the game. So a defense leader skill definitely helps your team quite a lot. Just makes your team a lot more tanky. And a lot of people like to pair her up with aggressors, like defense-based aggressors, to make sure they get a lot more defense and just tank harder and hit heal. What the fuck did I just say? Tank harder and hit harder. Wait, no. Yes, tank harder and hit harder. I was thinking of another word for harder, but there's no other word for harder. This is the honorable mention that I wanted to that I brought up below, but I can't talk. Brought up before. My brain's a little bit fucked up right now. I didn't really want to mention her as a monster that's like super, super strong, because I've learned that sap has its limitations. Sap is kind of strong early on. You can still build her and use her for like mid game, but she will never be able to progress further into the late game because of how the dragon is immune to sap. So at the most you can only use her for golem speed 10, but she's still very, very good for golem speed 10 if you want to build a sap team. So she has the highest sap chance of all the natural 4-star monsters. She has the highest sap chance out of any monster besides the Water Persephone, who has 100% sap on her second skill. She's still very, very useful. She's water based, and she has she saps. That's basically it. You just want her to to provide sap for your team. She also has the death blow, similar to the fire Yuki, but if you're running a sapper team, you don't necessarily need that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That concludes my videos of my top 5+1 most wanted / favorite NAT4 monsters of the neutral or of the normal 3 elements. So I'm definitely going to be doing more of these in the future, maybe mentioning some NAT5 light darks or NAT4 light darks as well, and then go up down the list, mention some light NAT3s, and then NAT4 light darks that are versions of NAT3s. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any suggestions, any tips on the game, be sure to comment below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.